Nintendo leaked the new Switch? We're breaking it down from hardware, software, and what the heck is the name gonna be? Let's get started with the hardware. Now, before we jump into the new stuff, I'm gonna get you caught up on the old stuff. Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser has stated that the Nintendo Switch is currently midway through the console cycle. He stated that this new console will have the existing form factors of already existing Switches. Currently, there is a huge factory leak. Even if you're not into Nintendo, I'm sure you've probably heard it. These new panels that have leaked have about an inch different from the current size. How much does an inch matter? I'll let you make that decision for yourself. What we do think though is that the physical screen, despite there only being an inch different, is going to be different because the black outside part of the Nintendo Switch is going to be replaced by a full-length screen. The same source has also leaked that there's going to be a new location for the SD card on this updated Switch. Now, for some of you, that may not seem like that big of a deal, but for those of us who had the hardest freaking time finding where that SD card is, it's underneath the kickstand, if you don't already know. Like, who's gonna go looking for that? These sources, for some reason, and I don't fully see the full picture here, I don't know how this is gonna tie in, but these sources have also said that this new SD card placement is also going to increase mobility for some reason. The next big leak that's come on the hardware side is a thinner docking stand. This again ties into this idea of increased mobility. If you've ever tried to pack a Switch to go on vacation or carry it around in your backpack, I'm sure you will be excited to know that there is a more lightweight version coming your way sometime soon. When it comes to other developments of this new Switch console, whatever the name is, we need to look at the developments between the 3DS and the new 3DS. Right now, the Switch is currently the people's console and is on track to outsell the Wii, which we all know everybody had a Wii. Even your weird aunt had a Wii, okay? Nintendo definitely does not want to isolate their audience, which is why I believe that whatever this new Switch console will be able to have the same game card used in between the old Nintendo Switch system and the new Nintendo Switch system. What did Doug Bowser say in his most recent interview that really opened the door for what we can expect from the new Switch? He is quoted saying, "We're always looking at technology and how technology can enhance gameplay experiences. It is not technology for technology's sake. It is how specifically the technology can enhance a gameplay experience." Now, from the outside perspective, you would think he just said a whole bunch of nothing. But if you look at specifically the major trends in Nintendo, right now you can totally see where they're going with the new Switch. The first thing is online gameplay. In this exact same interview, Doug Bowser has stated that the #1 feature that was used the most during this quarantine was online gameplay by people playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is currently one of the most popular games on the Switch right now. So it only makes sense that this next console is of course going to support that even better and make it more accessible for more people. This also ties into the fact that there is a new Mario Party game coming out that for the first time ever has increased online play. You can play the full game and full boards with your friends. So it only makes sense that this new Nintendo Switch would have systems that are going to be able to support that online play in ways that Nintendo was not able to before. We all know Nintendo is way behind Xbox and PlayStation when it comes to online play. And not only online play, but online streaming. The Switch originally came with Hulu, but nothing else, just Hulu. There was an update where you could have Hulu and YouTube a little bit better. Not quite, especially for those cord cutters like myself, just not cutting it. I predict that this new Switch that is coming out is going to be able to stream Netflix, Disney+, HBO Max, all those good guys, because come on, Nintendo. It's time, okay? Something to keep in mind also for those that are really hoping for a 2021 release for the Switch is you gotta look at the software that's coming out, right? If they're releasing a new console, they're going to release games that tie in and highlight those new features. So when it comes to new software for this new Switch console, one of the biggest leaks comes from everybody's favorite Animal Crossing's New Horizons. Numerous times now, the official Animal Crossing's accounts have posted photos using 4K resolution that currently the Switch is not capable of. And these are screenshots of gameplay. These are not commercial shots. There has also been a leak of 4K gameplay during E3 when Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope was released, Everybody noticed that gameplay looked a little too clear, not quite what we're used to. Could it be 4K gameplay? Let's look at the release date on that, right? Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope is due to come out in 2022. You know what else is expected to come out in 2022? Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2. And what a better game to launch off an entirely new console, especially with 4K gameplay, than Breath of the Wild 2, the most highly anticipated game and also Nintendo's currently most visually pleasing game. Imagine Breath of the Wild in 4K. I just want to cozy up with a blanket and drink some tea right now, just thinking about it. There is no way they're going to release a 4K console without having Breath of the Wild be one of their biggest releases. There's no reason to release 4K gameplay without Zelda. All these new upcoming games, none of them I can see require new 4K gameplay. Another game coming out in 2022 that would greatly benefit from 4K gameplay is Pokemon Arceus. A lot of us who are highly anticipating this game are hoping for a more open world feel that we got from Pokemon Sword and Shield. As we all know, Pokemon fans have been begging for higher graphics. 4K would be the greatest way to celebrate the Pokemon anniversary. Obviously, Pokemon's 25th anniversary is this year. Now, some people say the reason that these new marketing materials are being released in higher definition is just that, a marketing ploy. However, I have a rebuttal to that, and that is Nintendo. If you feel the need to sharpen up your images to advertise, that should be a sign to you that you need to sharpen up your gameplay just in general, right? So what am I hoping for in a new console? Number one is less Joy-Con drift. This is a huge problem, and while Nintendo tried to deny it for a long time, Nintendo, we all know, it's not me, it's you, all right? Let's just fix it and get it over with, okay? I'm sure I'm not the only one who has had to send their consoles into the workshop to get fixed. The next thing that I'm really hoping for is just more durability in general. Yes, there are shells that you can buy for your Switch. However, the Switch by itself, currently the way it is, a couple drops can create cracks. I myself barely drop my Switch, and I have a couple cracks over by the power button. It happens. More durability and maybe even a little bit of waterproofing could totally tie into this idea of making a Switch portable. Another thing that I am really hoping for this new console, like I already hit on earlier, is just more online capability. Whether this be just a bigger online game library, I am so excited for the new Mario Party game. I just want to watch Netflix on the Switch, okay? I'm a simple girl. I just want to watch Netflix on the plane with my Switch. It's really not too much to ask, Nintendo, please. As well as just in general, more home screen options. I would love more options to personalize my Switch. Currently, there are only 2 home themes. I would love to see more, like, let's get some polka dots in there. I don't know, let's get wild.